Lesson 5, Unity and Division within the Church. Introduction. Amidst the unity, there are events that led to the division within the Christian community, as evidenced by the Roman persecution and the early heresies that led the church to division. The unity of the church from her very foundation was at stake. In this chapter, we will look into the events that once again led to the unity in the church as well as the events of dissension that they have experienced. 3 illustrative examples of the history of the unity and the division of the church. Constantine and the Christian church, religious controversies, dogma and councils, Luther splits Christendom. Constantine in the Christian church. For almost 3 centuries, the Christians were persecuted by the Roman civil authorities. But in the beginning of the 3rd century, a complete reversal occurred. A new emperor in the West favored Christianity. In 312 AD, Constantine fought a gallant battle with Maxentius over the throne of Rome. In the fateful Battle of Milvian Bridge near Rome, Constantine emerged victorious. In 313 AD, Constantine, together with Licinius, issued the Edict of Milan and gave the persecution its final and definitive halt. Constantine's conversion to Christianity was a historical event of the most decisive nature, for it ushered a new era not only for the Roman state but also for the church. Under Constantine, the coalition of the church and the state paved the road to the union of the church and the state in the medieval ages. Religious controversies, dogma and councils. Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. Arius, a priest at Alexandria, preached that the divine word is God's foremost creature in creation of all others, but he is not of the substance of God the Father and not eternal. He disturbed the unity of the Christians and sowed the seed of confusion. He was able to convince few believers and continued teaching his belief. The heresy was later named Arianism. Council of Constantinople, 381 AD. Apollinaris of Laodicea denied the full humanity of Jesus, saying that the rational soul in him had been replaced by the divine logos, therefore making him incapable of sin because he did not have a human soul, which is capable of sin and error. Council of Ephesus, 431 AD. Nestorius, patriarch of the Constantinople, divided the two natures of Christ, one divine and the other human, and each has its own personal manifestation, and conceded that Mary was Christ's bearer but not the mother of God. Council of Chalcedon, 451 AD. Dissatisfied with the previous declarations on the person of Christ, Eutychus, a monk from Constantinople, asserted that although there were two natures before the union of incarnation, there resulted only one nature, the divine after the union. In other words, Christ's human nature was completely absorbed by the divine nature. Such new heresy was termed monophysitism, the doctrine of one nature in Christ. Luther splits Christendom. Luther took the last things very seriously: death, judgment, heaven, and hell. He was tormented by the thought of God's judgment as he reflected on his unworthiness. Traditional modes of mortification and penance did not work for him. He concluded that God alone can save him only if he would trust in God's power and readiness to save him. He found peace when he read in the letter to the Romans that it is by faith that one is saved. His dismay and dissatisfaction in the church led him to nail his 95 theses on the door of the church at Wittenberg as his protest to the Catholic Church. So for our concluding statements, as a group, we have realized that there are indeed a lot of events that led to the division of the church, and we should still be thankful because despite all the events, despite the false teachings, despite the heresies, the church have still managed to maintain its unity. And for us individuals, it made us realize that no matter what problems we may face, we should still keep our faith to the Lord and on His ways strong.